If you live long enough, you're going to find that life can be extremely challenging. Sometimes it's traumatic, sometimes it is full of overwhelming emotions and feelings. I just wanted to share a little bit of my story, and hopefully it helps. Back in the 90s, I was in college, and I didn't realize what was going on. And back in those days, mental health wasn't as much talked about, and I was dealing with self-doubt, was dealing with my future plans, anxiety, depression, all these things that nobody was really talking about at the time. I got to a really dark place where I felt like everyone around me was fine, and everyone around me thought I was fine, but I knew I wasn't fine, and I knew deep down that I had to find a way out. Suicide became a thought because I didn't really think I had an escape. I didn't feel like I could get out of this. It was almost like my heart was trapped in a cage, and I didn't even know what to do. I feel like lots of people are walking through the world and they don't know the person next to them half the time, and that can tend to lead to loneliness and also those feelings that sometimes appear true, fearful anxieties that overwhelm you and they take over. These types of things are really difficult to deal with because as soon as you feel like you're alone and you don't have a place to go emotionally or even sometimes physically, it's very hard to get out of that space. But let me just first say that this doesn't last forever. And number one, if you can just believe one thing out of this whole video, is that mental health, and what I kind of like to call it mental wealth, because when you feel good about life, you feel wealthy, and it's not about being rich or having money. It's just about understanding, I am good. And so if you can first understand that it's going to pass, and obviously when you reinforce the negative emotions and feelings over and over, that can tend to become a reality that you think is completely true, and it could only be like 20% true, or maybe not at all. And so I had a time where I had to spend time in a psychiatric ward because my emotions and my mental state was so overwhelmed that I wasn't able to process very well, or at least I was processing in so many random ways that my mind was really struggling to stay focused on reality. And sometimes you can deal with thoughts and emotions that you have no idea what to do with them. And what I'm trying to tell you is that don't be ashamed of the feelings or the thoughts that you're having. There's nothing wrong with them. Obviously, some of them can be harmful, and if you act on them and you live with them long enough, you might end up, acting out with these particular emotions. And so I'm just suggesting, number one, you got to find somebody to talk to. And a lot of times we think that person would be, let's just say, a therapist. Now, I'm in therapy sometimes, even now, but it's more of a conversation. It's not that, the guys in white coats, or because I've had experiences in therapy where I've kind of felt like they were looking at me and I was crazy, or just feeling judged in some sense. And that's obviously not all therapists and not all doctors or psychiatric people, but they're people too. And so they process information just like we do. And so I'm just suggesting that there are people that you can chat with and talk to who are healthy. And so hopefully coaches or ministers or people that you seek out, you have to, get to know them a little bit. But in reality, that's the start to becoming healthy, and it's the start to being whole. And so this little chat is just something that, as I've been processing my life and recognizing, oh yeah, I've had some really tough moments, really difficult stuff that I've gone through, and yet I'm still here and I'm moving forward. I'm excited. I'm loving life. So in fact, we're undergoing a move, our family, and I'm very, very excited about it. Is there nervousness? Sure. Can anxiety sneak in? Sure. But all of these things can be managed, and having stress is not completely terrible. I think many people struggle with stress because they don't have a healthy pattern of healthy self-induced activities that are stressful. For example, when you exercise or when you do certain activities like yoga or whatever, those positions are not easy to do, but they are healthy and they cause your body, your heart rate to go up and to sweat and all these things that make you process physiologically, and that's really important. So life can be extremely dark, but it's really important that we know that it's not forever and it's not going to last. Share your experience. I'd love to hear what you have gone through and how you've come out the other side. So in this little talk, there's a lot of ways that you can help someone else. And they may not know you from a hole in the wall, but you are a real person. So leave those comments and share your experience and how you went to the other side. How did you get there from dark to light? How did you come out of the unknown and the fearful and all of that? So for me, it was people being patient in my life, family members that love me, that continued to reach out to me. And it was time, it was processing, it was talking through situations and trying to understand. And so, yeah, share your stuff. I'm sure it will help someone else. I hope this helps somebody. So have a great day.